vibration is such a big part of life. But before I get to that, I think that being grounded and feeling really comfortable in your seats and this place and this moment in time would be very welcomed with just a very little meditation. You guys be open to that? I'll only make it about 2 to 3 minutes. So before we do that, it's always best to connect with your inner essence through breath. So the way that I'll just kind of model, we're going to take a breath, hold it for 3, let it go, relax your shoulders. We're going to do that 3 times. And then we're going to say hello, we can smile, close our eyes, because I'm going to take us on a very short journey, okay? So let's take our breaths beginning now. Take a nice breath. Release. Take another breath. Release. Take another breath. Ever so gently. Release. Okay. So walk with me on this journey. Okay, so close your eyes. Sit back, relax. Daydream, if you will. Okay, so we're taking this beautiful walk in a meadow. There are flowers, gorgeous flowers, so many colors. Feel the details, smell the flowers, notice, walk past them, maybe even touch them. Notice the bees buzzing around. It's a beautiful day. It's about 75 degrees. You're so excited to be here because this is such a beautiful, relaxing place to be. And you walk. You come upon some woods, the sun is shining very brightly, and you look up and you feel the warmth on your body, and it feels just amazing. And you see in the clearing, there's a little bit of water. It's off to the left, and you decide, maybe I'll take a walk over this way. Noticing things as you walk, the squirrels being chased in a frolic kind of way, very chaotic, but sweet nonetheless. You walk around. Maybe you give a tree a hug. I'm noted for doing that. And then you walk towards the water. Absolutely gorgeous, babbling brook. The water's so gentle. It's so easy. But there's some rocks in the water, maybe some sediment. And you notice the water is going through gently, easily, navigating its way around. No matter what gets in the way, the water finds a way to navigate. There's bumps, there's rocks, so many different things. And you can't help but think to yourself, wow, this is it just seems so easy. It's effortless almost. And the water finds its way. You notice a waterfall, not too big, a little one, but breathtaking nonetheless. And you go over to the water and you decide, I'm going to feel it. So you go over and you put your hands in the water. It's very clear, and you just touch it, and it's so warm. And you see little fish. What a beautiful place to be. You decide to sit. There's a rock nearby, and you decide to sit there. Just take in all the sights and sounds and the beauty that surrounds you. You take a few breaths, and you feel so wonderful. Then you decide, it's time for me to go back. I have things I have to do and places I have to be. But for now, this is a wonderful place. And maybe, just maybe, I'll come here a little bit more often. If not in person, maybe in my mind. Maybe in my images or my dreams. Who knows? So you step up and you walk back. Nice and slowly, just noticing and being mindful of all the beauty that's around you, above you, below you, between you, behind you, and everywhere. And you come upon that meadow with all those beautiful flowers. I'm going to count to 10, and when I get to 1, please open your eyes. Take your time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on back. Okay. There's a sense of peace. Oh my gosh, the peace in this room is just awesome. What a great place to be. Such a simple thing to do. Meditation is just wonderful. And I will get to meditation, but I want to start my story just a little bit about my personal journey, not too much, just to enlighten you and kind of let you know what spark got lit in me to help me find my place where I am right now in this moment with you. At age 46 to 47, I would say I had, I kind of call it a nervous breakdown. I really do. I came to the decision through my dreams and through my sleep that would wake me up 2 and 3 times a night. Sometimes I would just, I'm having a bad dream, it's a nightmare, let me go back to bed. And I go back to sleep. Then it happened another time, and I woke up sweating. Must be a hot flash. You know, I just kept looking for reasons why I kept waking up. And on the second time, I was actually shaking. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm sick. Go get the thermometer, and you go through the things that you think you need to do because maybe you think you're sick, you know? So finally, that's about as much attention that I gave to it. But throughout my daily activity and the busy life that we lead, I didn't really pay any never mind to it. But on that third time, oh my gosh, thought my world was going to fall apart. I was able to tell this story. I've told it a number of times, and I always used to break down when I got to this point, but I don't do it anymore. So I know how far I've come. But on the third time, there was a voice. Besides the shivering and the sweating and the getting up out of bed and just looking. And I went to the mirror and I said, what is wrong? And then the answer came, I'm miserable. I'm just miserable. And I don't even know why I'm miserable. I just knew that I was miserable in every area of my life. How could all the cards be falling down at the same time? Well, it was like a crash burn, and it happened all at once. I mean, everybody's story is a little bit different. I had sexual abuse, and I had a variety of other things, but although that had its importance at the time, it brought me to where I am today. And so did age 46 and 47. When I came to that revelation that I felt, it wasn't just Janet. It was a higher source, a higher authority. For me, it's God. For others, it could be source, higher self. You know, there's so many different names that we give to our Creator. But I knew that it was a, come on, you are just existing. And ladies, we're not here to just exist. And gentlemen, we're not here to just exist. We're not here to play it small. We're here to be as big as life as we choose to be. So this talk is about vibration. Love talking about this stuff. Because when I first found out about it, I was like, vibration? It doesn't even make any sense. I mean, I'm a speech pathologist. I know about vibration. You hear sounds, 20 to 60 decibels. That's a speech rain. You can talk between there. You can usually hear in those decibels. But you know what? No revelation came about me. It helped me understand that sound really does mean a lot. Vibration means everything in this world. But it wasn't happenstance. It was lined up in a certain way that I believe everything is in life. You're part of a big tapestry, and you're such a beautiful, delicate piece of it. And the larger tapestry, to what I have come to believe, is source, God, creator, whatever. And your piece is just so important in that. If you look at an ocean, how many people go to the ocean? I love going to the ocean, right? That ocean is made up of lots of drops, isn't it? This is kind of an easy way to explain it. That ocean and those drops, if you're just one drop in that ocean, is that drop any less important than the whole ocean? I think not. The whole ocean is huge. And without each one of those drops, the magnificence of the ocean can't really shine the way it could in full vibration. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Does that make sense? So I kind of look at each one of us. There's lots of analogies. I'm big on analogies. I have it like throughout my book. A drop in the ocean, a branch on the tree. There's the whole bark of the tree, the essence. You're a part of that. So how on earth could you be any less than anything magnificent? That's what I've come to understand. How could you? How could you? What created you is pure magnificence. If you're part of that drop in the ocean, which magnificence, and the tree branch, my goodness, you're absolutely magnificent. I mean, I see it in all of you. But we're not conditioned that way. We're brought up in society where things are real busy, everything's going on. You're going, you're coming, you work, you're doing this, you're paying the Easy Pass bill, you're doing. It's part of who we are. But we lose sight of how vibration comes into play in life. Everything is energy. I don't know if you've ever heard that in all of the newer age conversations, and there's a few books out on it. They talk about vibration. This vibrates. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't. And science proves that it does. And I'm not going to go into all the science, but it's important for you to know that you vibrate. If you put your hand on one of these real fancy microscopes that brings things in very close, I mean very much magnified, you'd see that you are energy. Oh my God, energy realized in form. So everything else that is around you, above you, below you, between you, everything on the table, your shoes, everything vibrates. Every letter, every sound, the food you eat. So if everything vibrates, okay, let's just take a basic understanding, and you vibrate, that it might make sense to maybe think that since you are vibrating and you radiate out vibrations, that's just the nature of physics 101, then the vibrations that could be coming from your form could be healthy ones, or could be some that have a little bit of lower energy. This isn't about fault. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding your responsibility and your place here and your being for being here. You are meant to express yourself to the fullest of potential. Not a little bit, not this much, but to get to this much. You have to maybe go through some of the muddy waters, like she was talking about when she was up here. Sometimes you have to have difficult things. There are challenges. Life wasn't meant to be easy, folks. It was meant to be worth it. And when you start to realize that through all of your different experiences, it is then, as my book says, your eyes become open. This is the cliche. Sorry about this. Everything happens for reasons. It absolutely does. But the reasons that it happens, it's for your unfolding of helping tear away the onion layers, if you will, of the stuff that's not true about you. There's a lot of things I've bought into it my whole life. The I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, and I'm not downplaying it, mind you. Those are significant. They're very painful. There's many different things. I'm not successful. How could I ever amount to anything? Look at her. I even went through a lot of this. She's on stage. How could I ever do that? There's just so much self-criticism. We can be just our cruelest to ourselves. We don't mean to be. We just haven't learned to understand, to love ourselves completely. What's not to love? You're pure magnificence. Everything that you bring to light is magnificent. Even the stuff you don't like. Because if you were created in divinity and in the face of love, I believe at your pure essence, all you are is love. But because we may have, believed other things that people said or we heard, or the TV or the magazine or the teacher, all the other authoritarian people in our life, even our parents, everyone's doing the best they can, right? They can only give you the experience that they have based on what they realize about themselves and the world around them, right? How can someone offer you an experience about your life or their life if they haven't realized what you've been through because they haven't been through it? They can give you opinions, and certainly the world is full of a ton of opinions. People are very well-minded. Everybody wants to help. I'm the same way. But it's very important to understand that people are giving you opinions from where they are vibrating at. The emotions, the experiences, and everything that they've come into play with and what their journey is about. There was a time that someone had come up to me and said, actually I kind of harassed all through high school. I had a horrific high school experience. I didn't even want to go to school. I didn't want to get out of bed to go to school because it was always being harassed and being told how good, you're this, you're that. It just, a lot of that stuff. But in those early tender years, when your adolescence is coming into play and your confidence, that can be really, really tough. But if I had loved myself, it was 16, 17, 18, and you don't always know everything. You're still learning a lot of things. I may have been able to overcome it at that point, and I couldn't. It just made me get further in my shell. And of course, it played itself out over the years in different ways. But you know what? I have no regrets. Wouldn't have changed a thing. It how do I say this? To be where you are today, you needed to have every experience happen to you. The good, and maybe as you may look at it, the not so good. The only way to peel off the layers of the beauty and the essence that I know is what you all are, without any doubt, is by having the experience to unravel the vibrations that aren't helping you. Love is the highest vibration. Woohoo! We all like that, right? Of many forms. Love of self, love of animals, love of Gaia, Mother Earth, love of everything. Because when you love, you are radiating a beautiful high vibration, and guess what comes back to you, folks? Other experiences. The universe wants to give you everything and then some. But through the experiences that we've had, some good, not so good, whatever words, I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm just being hypothetical. You're going to radiate back what you're putting out in the world. You could say, oh, I just love everything and walk around with that big happy face all the time. But if this is not in synchrony with your spirit and your soul, soul is love. Okay? That's your seat of power. That's where your love's coming from. But if I'm saying one thing and then I'm being hypothetical, you're throwing a piece of paper on the ground, you don't love yourself. Believe me, it's very connected. Everything is connected. Mind, body, and spirit. Every animal, everything you touch, everything you throw away, every word you say, it's connected. So it would behoove you to be able to treat things with as much love as you can. It won't be uncommon on a beautiful summer day. Janet's out in the park. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Picking up trash. I do it once in a while. It's one of the ways that I show that I love Mother Earth. She's here for you. Why would we abuse her, right? And if we do, there's somewhere in that energetic vibration that we may hold that has abuse and hasn't been resolved or moved past. So how do we pick up these vibrations? How do they happen? They come from people, absolutely. They come from the things we touch, say, feel, our experiences. I know you're stretching, trying to get, so you see me. They come from our experiences, our childhood, other lifetimes. Okay? I'm a firm believer, and this is Janet's soapbox here, that we live many lifetimes. Now, I'm not living them all as Janet DiTroia, but other experiences happen to bring me to where I am. And sometimes something may come up that happened. Being a psychic and empath, I can pick up different things for myself and others. And anyway, so that comes into play. And if I have not been able to resolve, understand, relinquish, let go of, and just send love there, history repeats itself. And that happens with lots of things. And it's not to put you in a critical position. You got to do that because you didn't do it. No, it's to help unravel who you really are. Because I would say it's getting better, but about at least 70% of the human understanding is people don't recognize the greatness and the power that they have in them. So they settle for less because it seems right. Maybe it seems easier, I don't know. But that's what their vibration is putting out. Greed, blame, anger carry the lowest vibrations. You can look, I don't have them all memorized. I just live this so easily at this point in my life. But there are some vibrations. Greed is definitely one of them. Shame is probably really lower on and it's just because it's not your true nature. Now, it doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen and you don't respond. You're in these human bodies to have these emotions. Embrace it. Love it. Because when you love it, even if it stinks, you are honoring you. Okay? That took a while for my head to get around that. Loving when I'm mad? What? That's crazy. But I'm mad. And if I don't honor it, you think it's going to go away? Probably not. Maybe I'll be mad at someone else or treat somebody else because I don't know how to get rid of it. Maybe I'll suppress it and I'll start having neck pain. Don't think that the vibrations of some of the lower numbers, so to speak, 200, I think 200 hertz, I think it is, for greed and shame and stuff like that. If it sits around long enough in the human body, it doesn't manifest into physical ailment. Not for everyone, But over the 30 plus years, I can tell you, many times it manifests physically. Gene expression is energy. Cool. And if gene expression is energy, and you're an energetic person, energy can shift. Revelation. If energy can shift and vibrations can shift, oh my God, you got the cards in your hand. You have a way to create the life that you want, you deserve, and you're meant to have. Not just from a place of entitlement, because that's what you're here for. You're here to live to the highest expression of who you are. Beauty, peace, love, joy, bliss, all that, and love and above. And when you don't feel that, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally, I made my own word, relationships, unless you're feeling like a 10 pretty much all around there, I will tell you, probably your energy signature, I kind of coined that phrase, the energy that is coming from your vibrations of your subconscious programming, which I'll get to, is going to draw in those things in your life. And whatever those experiences may be, pleasant or not pleasant, is for you to wake up call, oh my goodness, my finances are a mess. But then, example could be, I won't think of a person, but taking pencils from work. Oh, I could use those extra pounds, give it to the kids for school. That, you know what that says vibrationally? I don't have. I can't afford. That's a lack mentality. I was in that a really long time, but I'm giving you like a little bit of food for thought. Your actions are vibrationally in alignment with what you draw in your life. So it would be in your highest good and the good of everybody else that you touch to think about maybe raising your vibrations. Certainly going to help you and everybody else. And we are all one. There's something called a collective consciousness. Has anybody ever heard of that? Anybody ever heard? Okay, great. Then you know collective consciousness. Everyone has a way that they think in the world and the feelings they hold, the emotions they hold, the experiences they hold. And because we're all connected, when you feel sad, your sadness goes through the complete collective consciousness. So other people can feel sad. Not everyone, but they can. And I'm not going to go into the detail about it, but the more you can really hone in on helping you feel better in life and feel happier with what is right now in this moment, in this present time, you can make a huge difference in the world. One feel better at a time, one I love you at a time, one happiness at a time. Does that make any kind of sense? So vibrations are very important because they really create your life, whatever that may be, and your present reality. And you have all the ability in the world to help uplift them, to help. I talk about in my book about, I give side examples. I don't go into my whole personal journey because everybody has a journey. But as I state specific examples, well, this happens and oh my God, now I look at it like this. I take real life examples, which you want to do to help yourself too, and say, okay, this happened. I wonder if I could perceive that differently. Let me see if I can step back. This situation stinks. Okay, I got a ticket. I was driving too fast. The policeman got me. Oh my God, that really does stink. But maybe just maybe, getting that ticket prevented you from having an accident. That could have, because whatever. So maybe that interjection of having a ticket, which can really stink, was a guardian angel, your higher self, or something else stepping in to protect you and keep you safe. This happens all the time. You are meant to be protected and kept safe. And if you believe otherwise, so your reality will present itself. So it's really important to be aware, alert, and conscious of the things you say, the things you align yourself with. So let me see, where'd that carrot go? Okay, I'm going to get up for a minute, sorry. Okay, this has energy to it. It's actually a very healthy energy. It's raw, and it's meant for the body, and it's in alignment. High vibrational food, organic food, major high vibrational stuff. I'm not saying you have to eat all organic. What I am saying, the more things that you eat that man doesn't put his fingers in and add preservatives, colors, all the artificial stuff that's not in alignment with your body will wreak havoc. I mean, I work with children with ADD and ADHD, and the studies are coming out more and more. Diet plays a big part in it. People that say to me, a lot of people in therapy say, oh, my mind races, oh my God, I'm trying to go to sleep and it's so hard. Been there, remember that. There are many things that come into play with that. Stress, of course. Don't think that food and the things that you're eating or not eating aren't coming into play with that. The body wasn't meant to have things in it that are artificial, okay? And because it doesn't know how to handle it. So defense mechanism is trying to protect itself. Okay, I'll give you a really bad cough until you start realizing that something's not quite right. Maybe you're getting a little bit of toxic. Food can bring in toxins. Environment can bring in toxins. Lots of things can. But when you are accountable, number one, probably write this one down. I'm going to tell you 4 really important things that are so prevalent in this time in life. Accountability. Accountability is our due diligence, one, for loving ourselves, but realizing what we do in life, say, do, feel, touch, eat, drink, whatever, has an impact. It isn't just impacting us, it's impacting everybody because we're all part of the collective consciousness. And the more that we can help uplift peace, love, and all that wonderful stuff in the collective consciousness, now it's not your responsibility to save everybody in the world, do you understand? But it starts with you. So when you can help yourself know what's vibrationally in alignment for your health and well-being, you're going to feel a heck of a lot better. Not only in your body, but a lot of stomach ailments. Many times stress, certainly, it's a big part of it, comes from the food and the types of foods and the things you're mixing together. Certain blood types can't eat certain foods. Did you know that? It's very interesting. But behoove you to do just a little bit of homework. It really will help you in the long run and everyone else and the well-being of all. So food has definitely vibration. You're not going to see it because it's dense. Rocks have vibration. The words you say have vibration. Every thought you think has very strong vibration. And it doesn't mean you have to be constantly in check with yourself. But when you become spiritually more evolved and you just learn and love yourself, you don't seek potato chips. I mean, I don't even have interest in fast food. It doesn't even touch my mouth. And it actually just never did for me in life. But that kind of food doesn't help you or your children. Oh my God, I'm almost at time. Okay, so let me just speed this up a little bit. So food's important. The music you listen to. Look, I'm a Rolling Stone fan. I love but there are some songs, that you listen to, the words, I don't even have to name the songs. They have vibration. You listen to it long enough, you're going to hold that vibration within yourself because you're going to attract it. So everything else that you do, say, feel, is important. Accountability. Okay, honesty. Number 2, be very honest with yourself. Even if you don't like it, be honest. Cut my finger. I might say, oh God, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to cut you. I don't know how I did that. I love you anyway. Or whatever. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your friends. Compassion's really important. Okay, service. We are here to be of service. Not only to the world of giving ourselves, Ronald McDonald House, I love it, but service to yourself. You ever hear on the airplane, put on your oxygen mask first because you're going to help everybody else. Life is like that, folks. Put on your oxygen mask, help you love you so much that it radiates out everything you touch. People are going to say, my girlfriend's a perfect example of this, what are you doing? Can I touch you? I mean, the happiness and the way she radiates everything. Didn't mean she didn't have a little bit of a hard journey to get there. We all have our journeys. But what you feel inside of yourself day to day is very prevalent in your experiences and what happens. Whether it's yoga, vibration, painting, you pick one. Anything that puts you in a space that makes you feel peaceful, you're in alignment. There's one important, let me see if I got it over here. Oh, good, I did write it. Vibrational alignment is someone's willingness to be honest or not honest about the pain they are experiencing in life. I know, I could teach a whole lesson on that. But when you're honest about, so I had a pain in my back 3 days ago. I'm like, where's this coming from? I work out, I lift, it must be that. And I just said to myself, pain, what are you trying to tell me? That's exactly what I said. I love you, what are you trying to tell me? And because I'm used to being in meditation, I get the answers right away. I said, okay, I'm really sorry that I'm thinking that way. I'll see what I can do to think a little bit differently and look at the situation differently. Embrace that kind of stuff. When you hear a voice telling you, listen, I don't think that's a good idea, it probably isn't. And if something else is trying to talk you out of it, it's probably the mind getting in the way. It does that sometimes. This is where your answers lie. You have the answers. Any kind of question you can ever have in life, guess where it is? It's already imprinted inside of you. When you connect with inside of you, with whatever way you choose to do it. I like walking in nature too, because that really just chills me. Bubble baths, You find the different things that work for you. But when you're able to do that, and then ask your questions, you're going to get the answers that are in your highest good or in the highest vibrational alignment. And if you choose to tap dance and do the other way, okay, there'll be a lesson in it somewhere. Might be a good one. Whatever road you choose, it isn't wrong. Okay, you're never wrong. There's no blame. Treat yourself as an innocent 5-year-old, honestly. That's how divinity sees you. You're here to have the lessons and learn to unravel the beauty and the magnificence that's in you. Nothing less. Always more. Be the best that you can be. That's it. And if it isn't so good some days, honor it. I love myself. I'm having a shitty day. It just is. Honor it. Because guess what? It moves past. But if you have resistance to it, what is it? There's a saying that's always that. Whatever resists, persists. It's going to continue. Honor it. So you can kind of move past it. You're allowed to feel angry. You're supposed to have the whole boatload of emotions. When you have them, embrace them. Listen, I'm feeling this way today, or whatever it is. I'll probably feel better tomorrow, but right now I'm not feeling that good. So do something that makes you feel good. Put the music on, take the bubble bath, or just don't do anything. You're going to know what works for you, but give yourself the luxury and the time to be able to do that, to find out what it is. It's different for everybody. It really is. There isn't a one answer here that works. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what your journey's about. Short and sweet. It's a long journey. It appears that way, but in spiritual world, it's a nanosecond. Just love what arises. The good, the not so good. My son's been sick for a while, and I thought, how am I supposed to love what arises? But your perception changes. This is part of his journey. Something that is supposed to be happening to him, and I'll be there at his every waking moment to help him through it. But when you honor it, it just makes the road a bit easier to travel. You're willing to embrace the solutions. Whatever they may be, you have the answers.